prepared the answer to this question because on my birthday, when anybody's 100 around here, or 102 or 103, they invite the TV news. I don't do this, but I know it's going to happen. I guess I'll be disappointed if it doesn't.
When's your birthday?
November 23rd. I'm down by the turkeys. Genetics, I think, is number one. My mother lived to be almost 107, and she had all her smarts, and she was very active, very active. I have pictures of her up to her 105th birthday, and she's riding a bike. And so I think that's number one. Number two, I think, is my lifestyle. Because the lifestyle, and I started doing yoga as soon as we took the veil off. Immaculata College was having yoga lessons after school, and the sisters didn't have to pay tuition, so I went. And I have done yoga ever since, up until I had to come here, and there was no place to do it until just recently. Now we have a gym downstairs, and there's a lovely mat. So every other day, I go down. I can't do all my yoga, but I do a lot of leg exercises that I learned in physical therapy. And I do the steps for balance, and there's a machine that's called a health rider, and I do that, the legs and the arms. I do that every time, every other day. And then I go get on the mat, and I do the leg exercises. Then I do some yoga stretches. I do the cobra, and I do the bridge, and I do there's something else I do.
Sun salutations?
I could never perfect that. I could never. But I have to tell you that when I was in New Albany on mission in the 80s, right after I went to Seattle, I got this job in a parish, and I was there about 7 years. Well, there were about 15 sisters who lived in that immediate area. So I announced that I would be giving a yoga class every Sunday night. 12 of them came. 12 did that the whole year. And one of those sisters, well, there were two that were quite elderly, and I was surprised they came. But the oldest was just about the best in there. And I asked her, I said, why are you so fit? She said, oh, I'm the only girl, and I have 4 brothers. Mm-hmm. And my father got their brothers memberships in the YMCA, but there was no YW for her. So he got a trainer for her. And so when she was a young girl, she had physical exercise training.
So what about your diet? Is there certain foods you avoid?
I haven't eaten meat for about 4 years now. And because my doctor suggested it, because my cholesterol, it's a genetic thing. Everybody in my family has had high cholesterol. So he suggested that as a means of, and it really has kept it down. I like fish. I don't care for chicken, but I like fish. And today for lunch, we had a delicious piece of tilapia. It was pretty good. Well, yeah. And I drink skim milk every day, and I do little things like that. Oh. And let's see, the third thing, well, my lifestyle, I would like to recommend that to any young ladies between 20 and 40. Just think about it. If God is calling you to do some special work, here's a good place to do it. And then the third thing, I think, is my attitude. I've always been, maybe my students didn't always see it, but I have a very positive outlook on life. And I know I was a strict teacher, and they had to do their homework.
That's your job.
Yeah, that's right. And I know a lot of my students have gotten in touch with me because in the fall issue of Hope, do you get Hope?
Yes, I enjoy reading that.
Well, it's the fall issue 2 falls ago. Okay. I was on it was a collage of sisters and what they were doing, what they appreciated in technology. And I was one of those. I'm up in the top right here.
I'll have to look that
Go
one
back
up.
and,
Okay.
yeah. Well, because of that picture, and then there was a little paragraph about me, several of students have written to me. Yeah, and I was so pleased.
That's great.
Because they were people from the 60s. Yeah, they're grandmothers, you know. So I think...
so there's the three things. Those
yeah,
are
the
three.
third one is...
Attitude.
is my positive attitude, yeah.